Unfortunately, we still cannot make contact with Charlie Giroux, our Republican strategist, but Tony May, our Democrat, is here. And I would have started with you anyway, Tony, because tonight, already, it took like 15 minutes. Virtually every news source out there has called this debate in Romney's favor. Do you feel the president wavered too much?
Well, I think that this was Romney's night because as the challenger, everybody agreed going in, he had the most to gain and he had the most to lose. The real test, it seems to me, I mean, I will say, one, he had more energy in this debate tonight, but the thing that caught me by surprise was how far to the middle Romney moved on issues. He seems to have walked away entirely from the Paul Ryan economic approach and is talking about some sort of tax cut plan, not raising taxes in any way, a flat-out promise. He's not going to raise taxes on anybody. But what he's going to do is close deduction loopholes. So the question is, if you're not going to raise somebody's tax in the middle class, but you're going to take away the deduction for, say, mortgage interest, are you better off, or is it an increase for you?
Well, the president fired back on that one, saying that he's added up those numbers of loopholes, and the president says that won't cover his $5 trillion plan, which then Romney said he didn't have the $5 trillion plan. It also allowed the president to bring up the word math. I think he was referring to the arithmetic that Bill Clinton brought up during the convention. The word would be style points. The people out there, the critics out there tonight, say Romney totally blew it away on style points. And a CBS poll saying 46% say Romney flat out won it, 22% for Obama.
Well, I think here's the thing that people are going to wake up tomorrow morning, and the only thing I can compare it to is that Romney learned from his dad how to sell cars. So when you go to the car dealer and he talks about how he's going to, I want to put you in a great brand new car, and you can afford it. I'll tell you can afford it. I promise you the payments will be affordable. And then you wake up the next morning and you say, why did I sign this thing? He didn't give any details about his tax plan, really. You know, he talked about it in
some.
Well, but you don't know where these loopholes are going to come from and how it's going to affect me or you or the person across the street. And as one of your viewers said, you know, how is it going to affect a person earning $50,000 a year who, say, owns a house and has some sort of
But why didn't the president go on the attack?
Well,
why didn't he get on that point and say, you're not saying exactly how you're going to do this?
No, I agree with that. Those who say the president was sort of low energy tonight, and maybe he just felt that if he laid back and didn't go on the attack, he would pick up some support from people who would have thought that he was picking on Romney. There are two more debates to go. But as I say, Romney had the energy tonight. The question is, will people really understand that he didn't really offer anything concrete when all's said and done?
And this is the line all the Democrats are taking, Tony, and I expected to hear it from you that the president made a lot of points. However, we got a horse race going right now because Romney did pick up a lot of momentum tonight.
But he might have lost some of his base tonight by moving so far to the middle.
We'll see. I'm not allowed to. I can't take Charlie's side, you know, completely.
Well, that's okay.
But I know we wanted to have Charlie Giroux here, our Republican strategist, and I'm sure he would have been all over this as a complete Romney victory, as you would expect. So,
yes.
Some great insight from you, though, Tony, on what we saw tonight with the presidential debate. You can always catch our political insiders every. And we continue with Campaign 2012. With us now, our Republican strategist, Charlie Giroux, live from Washington, D.C. tonight. You watched it at the Swiss Embassy, Charlie. I talked to Tony for a few minutes earlier, got the Democratic response to this. You've got to be one of the happiest Republicans out there after this debate tonight.
A great night for Mitt Romney on both style and substance tonight. Rob, he showed he was in control. Some would say command. And I think tomorrow morning it's a brand new ball game. I mean, the president just didn't bring his game tonight. Mitt Romney did.
Is there the Democrats right now are saying that Romney should have had more specifics to talk about with his plan. Do you feel he lacked some of that in-depth specific information that people want to know? Such as his tax plan?
He laid out what he needed to. He laid out what he needed to lay out tonight, and he said this to the American people. Look, when it comes to the economy, when it comes to business, and this is the telling quote, I know how to do it. And he knows how to get the country back on track. He knows how to get America back to work. That's what this country is looking for. I think he had a great night. And I think, as I said a moment ago, this is the beginning of a brand new ballgame.
There's no doubt he had a great night. CBS News poll already out, Charlie. You probably don't know this yet, but 46% say Romney won. Only 22% are with the president on this. So now we've got a real horse race on our hands between these two candidates. Any talk that Governor Romney had lost some momentum is probably going to have to go away at this point.
Well, it's interesting, Rob. We talked earlier this week, you and I and Tony, about the fact that the expectation game leading up to tonight was different than it usually has been, because the Romney campaign was saying, we expect our candidate to do exceptionally well. That's an awfully high bar. Normally people try to tamp down the expectations, but they said he was going to do well. He did well. He laid out the moral case for cutting the deficit, getting the spending under control, and I believe that he laid out a plan that Americans want. He connected with the middle class tonight. That was his mission, and he accomplished it well.
Do you feel he needed one big line, though, that may have been lacking from the debate, or did you hear one big line that you think stood out?
I think his big line was in his close when he talked about bringing the country together and getting bipartisanship back to the center of the table. And Obama's kind of snarky response to that was a stark contrast.
All right, CBS 21's political insider, Charlie Giroux. Charlie, thanks a lot. Get home safe from Washington, D.C. We appreciate you joining us by satellite tonight.